Good morning, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Marissa, and today I am going to show you how to make this spiral washcloth. If you look in the center, see how it starts here, and it just spirals out. This is a round washcloth, and I'm sure if you did your stitch count and stuff, you could turn it into a square one if you prefer square washcloths. I honestly don't care. But I used 100% cotton. Let's see. This is Oasis. I don't know if it is discontinued because this is an older yarn. I got it at a yard sale, so, I don't know if it's still available. This is how much I have left of a full skein. So you can't get two out of it with the size that I've made. If you make your washcloth smaller, then you can probably get two, close to the same size. But I made mine larger. If you look, this is the back side. I haven't woven in my ends yet, so ignore those. But it kind of reminds me of stockinette on, not stockinette, but garter stitch. See all the knobbies? But I talk in the video how to take and put a loop on this if you decide you want to use this as a pot holder instead, which you can, as long as you have a 100% kitchen cotton. Whenever you make this, you can turn it into a washcloth, a pot holder, whatever, and you can use it in the kitchen, bathroom, it don't matter, as long as it's cotton. The hook that I used is an I 5.5 millimeter, and you can use any hook and any cotton you want. You just have to remember that if you change the hook size or the size of the yarn, the size of your washcloth will change, and how much yarn you need will vary. But you can use whatever you want if you've got different kinds of cotton laying around. Because no Premier has cotton. Pretty much any brand has cotton, but I know that Premier has some really nice cotton. I haven't got any, but I've heard a lot about them, and they seem to be really good. And so there's, I forget how many yards is in here. There's 95 yards per cake on this one. I don't know if they've changed the yardage, because I thought I had some that had over 100 in it. I don't know, but that one has 95, and it was a full skein, and that's how much I have left. It's not quite enough to do another one, but I could add this towards another washcloth. I got one more skein of this, and so I could add some to it and make another one if I wanted to, or make one that looked different. In the video, I show you how to do the first 4 or 5 rows or rounds in this, and then I explain to you how to continue the increases to make it as big as you want. And you can take and make it this big, you can take and make it bigger, you can take and make it smaller, whatever it is that you need for your house. But I show you the first few rows and how to increase and how to create this ridge here, and how to keep it going in a spiral, because if you look, it just the circle starts in the middle and it just spirals out and is never ending. And the way that I just finished it off is I took and slip stitched a couple times. Like, I slip stitch in one stitch and I go over and I slip stitch in the other one to kind of even out the round, and whenever I hide my end, you won't be able to tell where it's at. But let's go ahead and get started. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and put them in the comments section. I will try to have any links that I can think of that goes towards any of this in the description box down below. And let's go ahead and begin. Okay, so what you will need to create this washcloth, pot holder, whatever you decide to use this for, you'll need a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, stitch marker, and I just use these light bulb stitch markers. They're easy to use. Scissors, and I'm using cotton yarn. If you're going to use this as a pot holder or a washcloth, you'll want cotton yarn. If you use it as a pot holder and you don't use cotton yarn, it could melt in your hands and you don't want to burn yourself. So go ahead and pick you up some cotton and we will get started. This is a number 4 weight, Peaches and Cream. It's just a 100% kitchen cotton. Now, to get started, let's see if I can find my end here. I may have a lot of yarn barf. Oh, there we go. Now, to do mine here, I started with a magic ring. And if you don't want to do a magic ring, you can chain 4 and slip stitch to form a ring and crochet into it. But for this tutorial, I'm going to do a magic ring. To do a magic ring, I take and put the yarn over my ring finger, over the top 2 fingers, and wrap it around twice. I've got 2 strands on top. I've got the end on the bottom. I'm going to take the crochet hook, go under the first strand, and pick up the second and pull it under. Now what I'm going to do is give it a twist. And you can see I only twisted it once. Take the working yarn and pull it through that loop, like that. And you have a magic ring. Now to create this spiral here, you just go and instead of slip stitching into the first half double crochet that you made, you just continue going around and around and around, and that's why you need the stitch marker, so you can tell where your beginning and end is. So we will go ahead. Now this, I count this here as your chain 1, and you're going to put 10 half double crochets into this ring, whether it's your chain that you formed into a ring, or if it is your magic ring, whatever you chose to do, you want 10 half double crochets into it. And you'll notice your magic ring, that end there will get shorter, and you just tug on it and it'll pull it in and get longer, so you don't have to worry about it. But you do want to work over it, or the magic ring method here won't work. So let's see how many I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. You pull on that tail and it'll cinch that up. Now you'll have 10 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is the first one that you created, and instead of going through both loops here and slip stitching to end the round, we are going to not go in those 2 loops. Instead, we're going to put a half double crochet into the 3rd loop. If you look here, okay, there's one loop, two loop, those are the front and back loop. You turn it a little over to the side and you've got a third loop. Let me see if I can get my hook into it. Right there. Right there's your third loop. See? 1, 2, and then there's number 3. And you're going to take and put a half double crochet into it. Hold on. You'll put a half double crochet into that third loop. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stitch marker and I'm going to put it into that half double crochet that we just created. That tells me that that's the beginning of my round. Okay, so for the whole entire round that we're going to do for this one, we're going to put 2 half double crochets into each stitch, into each third loop. Once you do your first couple third loops, they kind of start popping out. Oh, I only put 1 in that one. They start to pop out and they're easy to get to. And you're just going to do that. You had 10 stitches to start with, and when you're done with this round, you should have 20. Just like that. Okay, I've come to the end of my round. See there's my stitch marker. I should have 20 stitches when I end this round. You should have 2 half double crochets into each stitch. Now to start round 3, I'm going to half double crochet into the third loop of that first stitch. We're not slip stitching in any of this pattern. Okay, so we're going to put another half double crochet into that stitch. So we start off with 2 half double crochets at the beginning. We're going to put 1 half double crochet into the next stitch, 2 half double crochets into the next, and that will be your repeat for the whole round. 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets, 1 half double crochet, 2 half double crochets. Repeat this all the way around and we'll meet back up here at the stitch marker. You should have 30 stitches when you're done. Okay, so I've finished my round here and you should have 30 stitches total. Because we did 2 half double crochets into the first stitch, you should end with 1 half double crochet in the last stitch. Let's go ahead and go to round 4. Take that stitch marker out long enough to start your next round. You're going to put 2 half double crochets into the first stitch. Make sure you put that stitch marker back into the first one of those 2 stitches. And we will put 1 half double crochet into the third loop of the next stitch, 1 half double crochet into the third loop of the next stitch. So you have 2 half double crochets in the first stitch, 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then you will have 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. So that is your repeat. 1 half double crochet into the next 2 stitches, 2 half double crochets into the next. Let's do it one more time. 1 half double crochet into the next 2 stitches, 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. Okay, I have finished my round, and at the end you started with 2 half double crochets into the first stitch. You should end with 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches. At the end you should end with 1 half double crochet in the last stitch. And you should have 40 stitches at the end of this round. You will continue in this pattern. This one here, I stopped whenever I had 8 half double crochets in between each increase. And each round of increase you will increase by 10 stitches, because if you start with 10 half double crochets in the beginning, you will always increase 10 stitches if you follow the method that I showed you. So like on this one we just finished, let's see, 1, 2, so 2 half double crochets in between each increase. Next round you're going to do 2 half double crochets into the first stitch, and then 1 half double crochet into the next 3 stitches, and then an increase. And then round 6 you will do 4 half double crochets in between each increase until you have it this size here, or whatever size it is that you want. If you want it bigger, you can keep going. If you want it smaller, you can stop early. That is all up to you. But whenever you are done with the increases, what I did on the last round is a little bit different. I finished it off because if you look, see, it kind of wants to bow up a little bit, and if you flatten it out, it's all good. And it's going to be a washcloth, so it doesn't matter if how flat it is. A washcloth is a washcloth in my opinion. But to kind of even out the stitches, my last round, what I did, I'll show you real quick. All I did was put 1 half double crochet into the third loop of every stitch. I didn't do any increases into the last round. All I did was put 1 half double crochet into every third loop, just like that. So whatever size you choose to make your washcloth or pot holder, whatever you decide to make it into, when you think that it's big enough, just do one whole round of half double crochets, no increases, no nothing, just one even round to kind of help with the to help even out the stitches so that it'll lay flat better. If you decide to do a pot holder with this, you can always take, here's where I haven't wove my end in yet, but you could always take here, and before you tie off, you could always create a chain to make a loop and slip stitch into one of these stitches here, and that way you can loop it onto a hook, because like my pot holders are hung up in front of the stove so that I can get them when I need them. If you do the same, you could always put a loop here so that it'll hang, however you want to do it. But that's just an idea. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe. And if you have any questions, you can always leave them in the comments section and I will do my best to answer. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Stay crafty.